How did ancient builders move heavy stones before the invention of wheels? This question has puzzled historians and scientists for years. We know that they moved large rocks and stones to build structures like Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, and other similar structures. But how they managed to move these heavy objects without the help of modern technology is still a mystery. In this video, we'll explore some of the latest research and theories about how ancient builders moved heavy stones before the invention of the wheel. We'll also discuss the incredible feats of engineering and human strength that these structures required, and the ingenious solutions that ancient builders came up with to overcome the challenges they faced. So join us as we uncover the secrets of ancient construction and learn how humans moved massive stones before the wheel was invented. Imagine standing in a world without vehicles, no carts, not even a single wheel to lighten the load. Yet somehow massive stones, weighing tons, were transported over vast distances. The question isn't just how they did it. The real mystery is why this secret knowledge, so effective, disappeared while our modern machines struggled to match their precision. Long before modern cranes or trucks existed, ancient builders harnessed raw nature and human ingenuity. They didn't have steel, engines, or pulleys. Instead, they relied on systems so simple they seem unbelievable today. Logs laid out as rolling tracks, slippery mud paths, animal fat as lubricant, and even sledges gliding over ice or sand made slick with water. Where modern minds see obstacles, these early engineers saw possibilities. Every stone placed wasn't just moved. It was a victory of will, intelligence, and determination. Some stones traveled miles, across rivers, up hills, through forests. No shortcuts, no magic. Just deep understanding of balance, weight, and teamwork. Whole communities gathered, not for fame or fortune, but because these monuments mattered. Structures like Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, and other wonders rose one stone at a time through methods we're only beginning to rediscover. Modern experiments prove these techniques worked. Researchers testing ancient methods have moved giant blocks using nothing but wooden sleds, ropes, and determination. It's not theory, it's fact. The builders of the past weren't primitive. They were problem solvers who used everything available. Physics, terrain, and teamwork, all without modern tools. That's real brilliance. And yet, as we look at these feats today, it's easy to dismiss their achievements as impossible or to credit myths. But what if their secrets weren't lost? What if we've simply forgotten to look closely at the clues they left behind? What if those lessons could inspire new ways to tackle challenges right now, sustainable, resourceful, and effective? This story isn't just about stones, it's about the spirit behind them. People who refused to accept limits, who saw a mountain and imagined a monument. They didn't wait for technology. They became the technology. They moved the world, one rock at a time. One of the most enduring mysteries surrounding the pyramids is the transportation of the massive limestone blocks that make up the structure. The stones used to build the pyramids are estimated to weigh between 2 and 7 tons each, and it's believed that thousands of these blocks were used to construct each pyramid. The question of how these huge stones were moved has puzzled researchers for centuries. One popular theory is that the stones were transported using a system of wooden sleds and ropes. This method would have involved laying a series of logs along the ground, then using ropes to pull the sleds loaded with stones over the logs. While this may seem like a simple solution, it would have required a tremendous amount of manpower and coordination to move such heavy loads over long distances. Another theory suggests that the Egyptians used a technique known as earth paddling to move the stones. This method involved digging a trench alongside the route the stones would travel and then placing the stones in the trench. The stones would then be moved by paddling the earth around them, much like a boat is paddled through the water. This would have allowed the stones to be moved without the need for heavy machinery or brute force. However, recent studies have shown that neither of these theories is entirely accurate. Researchers from the University of Amsterdam conducted a series of experiments to test various methods of moving large stones. They built scale models of the pyramids and used different techniques to try to move the stones. Their experiments showed that while sleds could move stones over short distances, it would eventually sink into the soft Egyptian soil. Additionally, earth paddling proved to be too slow and inefficient to be practical for moving the massive stones. Instead, the researchers discovered that the Egyptians likely used a combination of techniques to move the stones. They would first dig a trench and place the stones inside. Then, they would use wooden rollers to move the stones along the trench. By using this method, the Egyptians were able to move the stones with relative ease, even over long distances. The researchers also found that the Egyptians likely used a system of levers and ramps to lift the stones and place them in position. This would have allowed them to move the stones to higher elevations without having to carry them. Overall, the researchers concluded that the Egyptians used a sophisticated system of engineering and manpower to move the stones. Their findings suggest that the Egyptians were more advanced than previously thought, and that they possessed a deep understanding of physics and geometry. Another impressive feat of engineering is the construction of the ancient city of Machu Picchu, which is located in the Andes Mountains in Peru. The city was built in the 15th century and is famous for its stunning location and intricate stonework. One of the most remarkable aspects of Machu Picchu is the way that the stones were fitted together without the use of mortar. The stones are perfectly aligned and fit together so tightly that it's impossible to insert a blade between them. This level of precision is truly remarkable considering that the builders of Machu Picchu did not have access to modern tools or technology. One theory is that the builders used a combination of copper chisels and wooden mallets to shape and fit the stones. Another theory suggests that the stones were shaped using a natural process known as frost weathering. This occurs when water seeps into cracks in the stone and freezes, causing the cracks to widen over time. This process can continue until the stone breaks apart or is shaped into a desired form. Regardless of how the stones were shaped, the builders of Machu Picchu possessed an incredible knowledge of geology and engineering. They knew exactly where to find the right type of stone and how to shape it to fit perfectly with the other stones. In addition to their knowledge of geology and engineering, the builders of Machu Picchu also had a deep understanding of astronomy. The site is aligned with the solstices and equinoxes, and many of the buildings are oriented towards important stars and constellations. Overall, the construction of Machu Picchu is a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the Inca people. Their ability to shape stone without the use of mortar and their deep understanding of astronomy and engineering make Machu Picchu one of the most impressive ancient sites in the world. Moving large stones was no easy task. It required careful planning, skilled execution, and a lot of manpower. Ancient builders used ramps and levers to move stones into position, requiring teams of workers to operate them effectively. Rollers or sledges were used to transport stones over short distances, often greased with animal fat or lubricated with water to reduce friction. However, transporting stones over rough terrain or uphill was a challenging task that required ingenuity and resourcefulness. Some builders used earth paddling techniques, moving stones by digging canals and shifting earth around them. Others constructed stone hinges or used floating devices on water bodies to move stones across rivers or lakes. These methods required less manpower compared to rolling or sledging, and were particularly useful in hot climates where lubrication was not necessary. Despite the challenges, moving large stones was a necessary part of constructing the impressive structures that ancient civilizations are known for. Whether it was the pyramids of Egypt or the megalithic structures of Europe, these monuments would not have been possible without the ability to move massive stones. Today, we can marvel at the ingenuity and determination of the builders of the past, as we explore the techniques they developed to overcome the challenges they faced. From ramps and levers to rollers and sledges, these ancient builders used every tool at their disposal to move stones and create some of the most impressive structures in history. If you've been amazed by the ingenuity of ancient builders and want to learn more about how they accomplished these amazing feats, be sure to check out our other videos on ancient technologies. You'll be amazed by what humans have accomplished throughout history. Also, please like and share if you liked the video and subscribe for more updates on amazing discoveries from the past. Who knows? You might just learn something.